Party people, how you feeling?
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Papa Jug Podcast. How y'all doing? I hope it's great, because, yeah, that works. Okay, good. Just wanted to make sure things worked. I am Papa Juggernaut. This is episode 4, and we have one gigantic topic that we are talking about. And I will let you all know, it is not a secret. It is a big freaking public thing, and that is Twitch. But again, this is episode 4. The music that you just heard is actually a DMCA free track by Daniel J. Henry. I encourage you to check him out. He has a service called Stream Tunes, and a very cool thing that you can find on YouTube. I will include a description in this and every other future episode. But that's going to be something that we hear more of. That is, so if you download the audio of this, then you heard it last week. I decided to add that it as an edit. It was not on the live broadcast, but I think from now on it's going to be in the live broadcast and the recorded audio that are released on Monday. So I hope you enjoy. But again, it is Friday night. It is 7:30 Pacific time. So if you are in the future, hello Saturday. We are doing episode 4, and like I said, tonight's big topic is going to be Twitch. The Twitch news. What has happened? What hasn't happened? What has? What might? What could? All of that. So that'll be covered. All of that's going to be covered, including some analysis. I want to give recognition to some people who have done some very hard work in addition to all the reading that I did. Because that was all kinds of fascinating, and all the different things that we found basically prove that Twitch wasn't listening. They sort of listened, and we don't know if they're listening anymore. There's a lot that happened. Also tonight, we are going to be talking about the launch of Diablo 4. Also tonight, we're going to be talking about Summer Game Fest that happened 2 days ago. I'm sorry, yesterday. Well, whatever. As of recording, it was in the past. And then the big announcement from Apple, which was the Apple Vision Pro. Wow, that's a thing. So yeah, Star Citizens, get your wallets out because you have another thing to spend money on. So we're gonna jump right into the broken overlay. I knew this was gonna happen. So here's the weird thing: if you were watching this live, let me tell you what had happened was normally you will see your chat live on my screen. You'll see it in the broadcasting. It's down there. It should be right down there. I go into Stream Elements because I had to make a change to something. I go into the overlays. They're gone. All of the overlays that I had pre-built for this show wiped out. They no longer exist. So I had to rebuild them an hour ago. And I knew something wasn't right. And I'm looking at this going, why is chat not appearing? Why doesn't this work? I tried simulating it. Nothing. It was a disaster. And I just had this feeling. I was like, you know what? Maybe when I'm live, that'll solve the problem. Everything will be okay. No, it is not there. So fun. Yeah. Womp. Yeah. So I want to welcome everybody who does watch this live. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you doing so. If you are listening to the audio and you have not yet subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do so. I do have a goal of becoming a YouTube partner. And in order to do that, I need 1,000 subs. 1,000. Like 1000 with a comma. It's the 1 comma club. Yo, that sucks. I'm 13% of the way there. I need 87% more. So if you all could drop a sub, I would appreciate it. It's free. I can't give you more than free. Free's awesome. Cool. And then as a surprise, I am going to work in Whoopi Goldberg to tonight's episode. You wonder, Jug, how can you do that? It's just because I'm amazing. It's fine. So we will move our way on to that. And we're going to start off first with not that. Let's start with Twitch. First, we have new guidelines, then we have old guidelines, and then we have guidelines that nobody understands, and then we have guidelines that completely got broken, and then we had guidelines that contradicted each other. And okay, so let's talk about Twitch. Now, for the most part, if you are a streamer, which I know a lot of the audience is, if you are a streamer, I'm going to give you summaries of everything that has occurred up until today. All right. Today being June 9th, by the way. So the announcement was made on June 6th. It was announced on all of their platforms. They give you pop-ups, everything. It's like, poof, look, we have new stuff for you. some of this stuff, before we get into it, already was in effect. It was talked about. They told you it was coming, whatever. All of that had occurred, but hadn't been worked into the terms of service yet, hadn't been worked into their monetization policies yet. And there used to be 2 of them, and now there's 1. All kinds of weird stuff, okay? So some of it was not news, but it was new. Other stuff came through, and holy crap, guys, the streaming industry, I appreciate that a lot of you are committed to, to being professional streamers, but for the fuck's sake, slow down and read before you have a reaction. Streamer world lost its collective mind. Everybody's making assumptions, and they were making false predictions, and then they were making false accusations, and I'm sitting there reading going, that was already there. It's been in the contract from day one. Relax. Ooh, okay. Everybody, namaste. Take a breath. Everything will be okay. It's fine. We're going to talk about it tonight. Let's get right into it. We are talking about Twitch with the new, old, sort of, but whatever. Yeah. The changes impacted quite a few things. First of which was their monetization agreement. So previously you had 2 different contracts. Okay. You had a contract for affiliates and you had a contract for partners. I'm not going to really get into the whole thing about like, if you are the top, like tier 1 AAA, like if you're the, the Kai Cenats of the world. They have a whole separate thing that's like it's a whole different world. I'm talking about the 99.999% of us that make up Twitch's, bread and butter of content, monetization, etc. All right, so there's that. I want to clarify that is not going to be part of it because they are still partially separately governed. The rest of us are in a different. Well, we now have one policy. Like I said, used to be one for affiliates and one for partners. Now that has been merged together in a new monetization agreement that applies to all of them. That's a problem, and mostly for partners. But here's what I want you to keep in mind as the next few minutes go forward. If you are a Twitch affiliate, like me, if you are a Twitch affiliate and your goal was to become a Twitch partner, there's really no reason to do that anymore. Let that sink in for a second. Most of your benefits are gone, and you're going to hear about some of them tonight. Most of your benefits for becoming a Twitch partner are wiped out. It just won't matter anymore. Really sad, because when I started streaming 2 years ago, that was that was the thing. You wanted to get to that point. Now I don't care. Let's talk about why. All right. Up first, we have, that is not what was up first. Not what was up first. There we go. So it was, the change to the branded guidelines. What could you do with your own content? Now I'm going to forecast a little bit and tell you what Twitch intended. And I don't think that they're lying about this. Twitch's intention was to target third-party ad networks. Not third-party sponsors, but ad networks. So here's the thing. A third-party ad network is a direct competitor to Twitch in terms of generating revenue, not content. Third-party ad networks don't have live streaming. A third-party ad network, and there's a few of them out there, their whole goal is they will say, fine, you will run our ads on your stream. Now, if you did something like this, which wasn't terrible because you got paid for it if you're a streamer, you run third-party ads on your stream. Those third-party ads can come to you in a variety of ways. It could be full-on 15 or 30-second videos. It could be overlays. It could be animations that you have on screen. It could be logos. There's a bunch of them. But whatever, it means that a third party, you have a deal with them. They provide you, let's say, on-screen or audio content that is on top of or worked into your existing content. So let's say you're doing arts and crafts or gaming or whatever. It's on top of that or integrated into it. And it's in addition to the ads that Twitch runs on your channel. So I want you to think about that. While I will sit here and tell you it's not a big deal if you had one of these, I would consider maybe thinking about your user experience for the audience. Basically, if they're not a sub to your channel, they now have ads they can't escape. So think about that. They have ads, your third-party ad platform. They can't escape those. They can't like subscribe out of those because they don't come from Twitch. So they've got ads that they're forced to watch. And as all streamers know, most of our audience is not subscribed. So that means your audience now has two sources of advertising that they have to, for lack of a better term, endure. Okay, let's just say that. Whew, not fun. All right, probably good money for you, but not fun for the audience. So you've got to think about it from that perspective. So what Twitch was trying to say was, look, we're targeting those people. And Twitch didn't do it because Twitch wants your audience experience to be better. No. Twitch did it because, quite frankly, you could set your Twitch ads to the bare minimum level and make a whole bunch of money from those third-party ad networks. It's an infringement on Twitch's ability to earn revenue. That was their goal. Your user experience is up to you for the most part, and Twitch doesn't give a crap. But when they saw that these third-party ads were somehow stoppable by working this into the agreement, then they said, fine, it's now on you. You're going to stop them. You're going to be contractually obligated to not partner with them. Unfortunately, the way Twitch did it was stupid. This is where their story starts to fall apart. By the way, if they were telling the truth when they walked all this back, okay, when they said that, you know, this was it was poorly written, it was confusing and vague and frustrating. Okay, but that means how many people had to sign off on this, from your legal department to your CEO to your content creator? Like, how many people had to sign off on this before it went public? And nobody thought that the way it was written was dumb. Because if you had asked any 5 partners, forget affiliates for the most part don't have the experience in business or law to understand what they're reading. But you ask 5 partners, hey, what do you think of this agreement? They would have told you. Okay, Twitch? So stop with the, oh, woe is us. We didn't mean for it to. No, you just didn't listen. You didn't ask. You didn't listen. You didn't care. You just said, we're going to stop all these ads. So what you see on screen here is an example of what they were trying to stop. You couldn't do burned in display ads. You couldn't do burned in video ads. You couldn't do burned in audio ads. A burned in ad is something that comes in from a third party. That's one problem. The reaction to this when it went live, they tweeted about it, and the tweet has since been deleted fairly instantly. It took them about 5 hours to retract what they had done. But this went live. It had these examples on their little, guide page, guidelines and all that. And it had these little examples. It was so stupid. They basically said that we are taking over how you have sponsorships. So even if you have, like, let's say a sponsorship from Stream Elements, okay, one of the many that they offer that are terrible. If you take one of those, I'm not saying that if you take one, you're terrible. I'm simply saying they're not a great choice. If you take one of those, that's a sponsorship. That is a third-party ad. What it is not is a third-party ad network. And the reason I say that is because even though Stream Elements is a network, Stream Elements doesn't do all this burned-in stuff. Your content, with the exception of an overlay, is still under your control. Okay, you don't have ads just constantly jumping in here all the time and doing all that. So Stream Elements, Streamloots, all those things were still viable under the new branded guidelines, but nothing else was. And for a lot of people, that meant a lot of money gone, because third-party, we all know Twitch doesn't pay very well. The third-party ad networks were a good source of revenue. Gone. Twitch wiped them out instantly. And it also controlled what happened on your stream in terms of how things got presented. So if I built these layers right, then we're going to see how this works. Nope, I didn't. Shit. Nope, I didn't. Shit. I really broke this, guys. Okay, there we go. So on screen, I made this as big as I could. The window on the screen doesn't quite line up to 1920 by 1080 in resolution. It's close though. But that gives you an idea. And this was screenshotted from Zach Bussey, I believe it was. He built this quick little guide in terms of how small 3% is. I'm not even sure that's accurate. I think that's actually a little big, but it's a tiny little window, and that was as big as logos could get. So if you were running a sponsorship, that was as big as your sponsor's logo could get, even if you were highlighting them for, let's say, an ad. Like if you were going to read a commercial for them, A, you couldn't read them anymore. B, the logo had to be so tiny on screen that nobody would care. Terrible, terrible idea. So again, the reaction was fast. Twitter exploded. Twitch, when I first saw it, because I was working when all of this, I was at my IRL job. When I first saw it, Twitch had 341,000 mentions on Twitter at that moment. Kick, strangely enough, not really, Kick had 154,000 mentions on Twitter. That's how much this exploded. Like everybody was talking about it on Twitter. Because if it didn't impact your stream, it impacted your favorite streamer. And so you saw your streamers talking about it, which means the audience was talking about it. It changed the game. So about 5 hours after it occurred, I'm going to try and not screw this up. Yeah. Twitch came out with a new tweet. It said, today's branded content policy update was overly broad. This created confusion and frustration, and we apologize for that. They then went on to try to explain that this was basically a way for them to target those third-party ad networks. They didn't mean for it to impact every streamer's ability to enter into a sponsorship or a third-party arrangement. They were simply trying to target third-party ad networks. I believe that. I don't think they're lying about that because the rest of them, and I've met the CEO of Twitch. I met Dan Clancy. He spoke pretty often and emphatically about wanting to give streamers the ability to earn content in a variety of ways on and off Twitch. Like he's trying not to, and I took him at his word, he's trying not to limit how his creators make money. Cool. The problem is they're doing it so badly because Twitch isn't making enough money. So they're both greedy and generous, but the greed is winning. And that's the terrible thing. So they come out with this tweet. By the way, at the time of this screenshot, it had 30.4 million views. It had been liked 15,000 times, quote tweeted 4,000 times, retweeted 1,100 times. Everybody was like, yeah, Twitch, you screwed up and you lied to us. We don't believe you and you ignored us before you even wrote the policy. You keep saying that content creators are your priority and then you don't talk to us or listen to us when we come to you with a problem. You don't even ask us for our opinion before you create your own problems. Why? Just why? Why do you do? Okay. So they come out with this. Then they come out with another tweet, which... Okay, yeah, before we get to that tweet, I want to cover something, the other things that were changed. So, as I talked about earlier, the branded content guidelines came out with the massive changes about logos and third parties and blah, 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 and all the advertising stuff. But that wasn't the only change. Not only did they combine the partner agreements with the affiliate agreements into one monetization agreement for everybody, but they also changed some of their terms of service. One of which is on screen right now, which is simulcasting. Quote, when you are streaming live on the Twitch services, you may not simultaneously live stream or broadcast, aka simulcast, on any other Twitch-like service, meaning any web-based network, platform, or service that supports live streaming of user-generated content without advance written permission from Twitch. So in other words, if you want to simulcast your stream on Twitch and YouTube, no, you don't get to do that. The reason is Twitch is a direct competitor and vice versa with YouTube. It's that simple. They don't want you being on a service that looks like them. That also includes Kick, by the way. YouTube, Kick, Facebook Gaming, all of them. Direct competitors to Twitch, and they said, no, you still can't do that. That was always the rule. That's always been the partner rule. That's always been the affiliate rule. You can't simulcast. Now, there are exceptions. For clarity, quote, you may simulcast on mobile-first services that support live streaming, like TikTok. The TikTok part is not a quote. TikTok part is what I'm adding. TikTok, you can live stream to. Instagram, you can live stream to. If you simulcast on sites like that, you're fine. They don't care. Because to them, that's not a direct threat. That's a completely different platform. It's a completely different concept. So there's that. Quote again, this section does not apply to nonprofit or government entities that are live streaming for non-commercial purposes. So if you're a charity, we're not going to infringe on your ability to try to fundraise. And if you are a government entity, we don't want to interfere in whatever news you're trying to get out. Now, that's especially important because in terms of enforcement, if you had the government, let's say the National Weather Service, if you had the National Weather Service instantly trying to simulcast from Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, they're trying to get one, like a warning message out to as many people as they possibly could, Twitch would technically have to enforce the rules on them that it would on their partners and affiliates and saying, sorry, you can't simulcast, we have to ban your account now. Twitch doesn't want to go down that road. So fine. Nonprofits and governments, you're exempt from this. So simulcasting was a big change. The branded content guidelines were a big change. The fact that the two agreements now came together were a big change. And the third-party ad network targeting, of course, big changes. But that wasn't the end of it. So there was the branded content, which was a mistake. This was dumb. And then we had, that was the 3%. So what did they do to the partner and affiliate agreements? This is a weird one, but it sort of makes sense. Twitch combined them into one agreement. So I'm gonna again quote from what you see on screen here. We are updating the terms of all standard partner agreements. Here's a brief summary of some of the changes. Now, before I get into this, let me clarify something that was really kind of dug into yesterday and today, which is affiliates. This is your legal warning right now, and I do not pretend to be a lawyer except in certain situations, and this isn't one of them. I am not providing you legal advice. I'm providing you a legal warning. You automatically accepted the new agreement the moment you started using Twitch after it was published. I will say that again. You don't have to accept anything. The moment you went live on Twitch after the agreement was published, you accepted it. That doesn't apply to partners. For partners, it only applies after they agree to it before their next renewal, because partners had contract terms. Okay, so they had like term length. So like, for example, a partner contract would be 1 year. So they might sign it July 1st and it will expire the following June 30th. For affiliates, that doesn't exist. Affiliates is just, hey, you went live, so you accept the terms. Congratulations. So we get screwed on that one because we don't have to accept it. Literally, if you don't agree to it, stop streaming immediately. That's change number one. The second is that partners, I'll just read some of this. So stream non-exclusively. Partners previously could not stream anywhere else. Now they can. As announced in August, you are no longer restricted to streaming only on Twitch and now may stream on any other platform or service. I'm adding this part, including Kick, YouTube, and Facebook. You can stream anywhere you want now. You are not locked into an exclusive agreement with Twitch. I'm not a partner, but I think that's pretty cool. When you got somebody like Ninja who streams on multiple sites. Now, he can't simulcast his streams to those other sites, but he can stream on other sites without risking a partner agreement, if he had one, with Twitch. Cool. I think that's a fair, nice, positive thing that comes from Twitch. Let's see, blah, 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 blah. However, simulcasting on short-form mobile services such as TikTok or Instagram Live is allowed. You can post VODs anywhere you wish immediately after you've streamed. That was also previously locked, but again, in last August, they said that would be going away. Better visibility. The updated monetized streamer agreement, MSA, is publicly available for anyone to view on twitch.tv. True, it's part of it's in their help section. Moving forward, you will be notified of any and all changes to the MSA at least 30 days in advance, which is not the case for what they just did this week. And all changes to the terms on twitch.tv will apply to everyone who has accepted the terms. Again, that's a cute summary, but it's bullshit. Here's the problem. Affiliates don't have to accept anything. The moment you went live, you accepted it. You don't have to sign a document. Second of all, moving forward, you will be notified of any and all changes to the MSA 30 days in advance. That's cute. Why didn't you do that this time? You only gave people 3 weeks, not 4. Interestingly enough, you couldn't even honor it on the day you announced it. Revenue in your dashboard. So this only really impacted partners because of how their revenue was displayed. Revenue and dashboard. Your revenue share information will now be solely available to you in your dashboard rather than in your contract. The contract section for partners on Twitch was a very dynamic thing. It had a lot of data in it, and it was changing. Gone. Now everything's in the dashboard. No set contractual obligation. I'm really good at speaking English. There is no set term of the contract. You can leave the program anytime you or Twitch choose to terminate the agreement. What they forget to mention is another small change, which is actually this applied to partners before, but not to affiliates. Now it applies to everybody. If you want out of your Twitch contract, you have to pay them $25. Interesting development that didn't apply before. Now it does. If you want out of your Twitch monetization service agreement, monetized streamer agreement, if you want out of that, they will take either what they haven't paid you. So if they owed you money, for example, let's say you earned $25. Let's do it a different way. Let's say you earned $24 in a month. All right. That was your revenue for the month, but you hadn't hit the end of the month yet, and you decide to break the agreement. You walk away from it. If Twitch owed you $24 in payment, you lose all of it. You're not getting it. Because what Twitch would take is the lesser amount of the $25 or what they owe you. In this case, what they owe you is $24, so that goes away. You don't get your final paycheck. I'll give you another example. If you earned $400, all right, let's say you earned $400 this month, and you decide that you're going to walk away from your monetization agreement with Twitch before the end of the month. Technically, at the end of the month, Twitch would owe you the $400. However, per the new terms of the contract, you have to pay them either $25 or what they owe you. In this case, what they owe you is more than $25. So all you pay them is the $25. So you're going to get $375 instead of the $400 they owe you. They're taking money from you one way or the other, and they claim it's for processing fees. I don't know why it costs $25 to terminate an agreement. You just simply say, great, termination, done. You stamp a date on it. Whatever. Apparently that cost them $25. However, for partners, no longer are you locked into a term. You could sign the agreement today, end it in a month. There's no penalty for doing it. And then the final one is about payments and U.S. tax withholding. Purely because of how things are categorized under U.S. law. This is not, most of it is not applicable to foreign law. Under U.S. law, different things are categorized different ways, and they do flat out tell you if you have additional questions, reach out to your personal tax advisor. So partners are getting, for the most part, more screwed. There was a great summary from an attorney that I saw on Twitter, and it said, really the only difference now between an affiliate and a partner is a check mark. That's harsh. So yeah. Little tough. Yeah. In chat. Yeah. That $25 maintenance fee to close your account threw me, right? It was all of a sudden like, where did that come from? Why are you charging us $25 to walk away from you? If you walk away from us, do you have to pay us $25? Cool. Whatever. I don't know what they pay their staff. I know it's not much, but apparently it costs $25 to do that. So all of that kind of stuff comes down, and those are the big changes. Twitch, like I said, 5 hours after the announcement, they said that we are retracting the previous brand guidelines. We are going to rewrite them and do whatever they're going to do. So what they do is is this the right slide? Oh, yeah. Okay. So I've got to cover this one. Sorry, this is the last slide I have before we get on to bigger changes. So minimum content requirements. This is a new one for everybody. And if you are a Twitch partner or a Twitch affiliate, pay attention to this section. I'm going to read this because it's going to shock you the more I read. Twitch has inserted a requirement in section 2.1 of the MSA for the affiliate or partner in the monetized streamer program. Quote, provide a consistent amount of live content, program quality live content, regularly interact with and engage with viewers of your Twitch channel, and respond to live viewers of your Twitch channel via Twitch chat. I'm going to clarify that if you have no idea what I'm talking about. Twitch is now mandating that you create quality live content on a regular basis. Let that sink in for a second. Here's the problem if you haven't thought of it already. How will they enforce that? Somebody has to decide that you are either not creating it often enough or that it's not quality enough. And guess what? Twitch decides. Now, I say that with sufficient drama. Yes, they want you to chat in chat. You have to chat in chat, not talk in chat. You have to talk. I mean, chat. So, no, actually, it says respond. It just says respond to live viewers of your Twitch channel. Oh no, it does say via Twitch chat. I think that's a drafting typo though, because what I'm assuming is the viewers of your Twitch channel via Twitch chat. I think that simply means that that's where they are. If they mean you actually have to type back, there's a legal problem with that, because now it's, well, if I can't type, like literally that would be handicap discrimination. It would be discriminating against handicapped streamers, and they don't want to go down that road either. So I think that's just a bad drafting language, and there's more than one of them, so we'll move on. You need to think about that, and what I think they're trying to achieve is this. I think they're trying to achieve the easy ability to get rid of inactive accounts. I think they're trying to achieve the easy ability of paying people who make low quality content but have a lot of viewers. And the biggest one I think they're trying to address are people who do replays. If most of your content is done via replay, rebroadcast, any of that kind of stuff, and I'm thinking of one streamer in particular who might be at risk for this. If a lot of your content is a rebroadcast of something else, Twitch doesn't like it. And it does impact their systems. It impacts their bottom line. People are less likely to engage with it. People are less likely to watch. People are less likely to pay. Subs drop, bits drop, all that stuff disappears, but you're still making content technically, but you're not. You're simply rebroadcasting something else. So if you're doing a replay like that, Twitch is trying to find a way to say, look, your content sucks. Get off the platform. This is how they do it. They're the judges now. What is a consistent amount? What is quality content? What is engagement? Whatever. It is what it is. This is still in the terms of service. And that was part of the problem, was that when Twitch came back with basically their old brand guidelines, branded content guidelines, when they came back with the branded content rules, it was like, cool, okay, you brought it back, you got rid of all the dumb stuff, you kept the third-party ad network stuff, which makes sense. Most people are fine with that. I think we can all understand from a business standpoint that Twitch is just trying to protect it. The problem was they launched the new/old branded content guidelines, but they didn't change the terms of service. You literally had 2 Twitch documents that contradicted themselves, because the Twitch guidelines, or the terms of service, still had the old rules. Now, the head of monetization at Twitch, I got an update from them. The head of monetization said it just takes longer to update the terms of service. It's a legal thing. It's just a longer process for us to do that. We're working on it. It will not be enforced right now. Don't worry. Everything is fine. The brand content guidelines, that's what you got to work on. So, all right, whatever. Technically, I'm not sure that's true, but logistically, it kind of makes sense. So we'll go with that. I've got a question in chat that says, doesn't that create an issue if you have lurkers but no chatters? No, it does not. So you got to remember, what it says is respond to live viewers. If they're all lurking, nothing to respond to. It doesn't change the requirement. So if they're all chatting and you're simply ignoring chat, no, then you have a problem with Twitch, potentially, if they decide to enforce this. And I think we've all seen from major partner bans that Twitch enforces rules how it feels like, not necessarily fairly or evenly. So there's that. That's a whole thing. The last line, viewer engagement, is it us engaging them or them engaging us? So correct. So the last line, I want to be clear. The only parts that are quotes from the policy for what you're seeing on screen right now are the italicized parts inside the quotation marks. The rest are a lawyer's opinion. It's not, in my opinion, which I'm not a lawyer, but it is not quite accurate. Twitch has the discretion to remove affiliates or partners if Twitch doesn't think the content is of good enough quality or if there isn't enough viewer engagement. I don't think Twitch would care. I think Twitch's main priority with this is the rebroadcast stuff, the replay stuff. I think that if you've got a stream, you've got, let's say, 300 viewers and only 2 people are talking, I don't think Twitch is going to care because it's live. It's something that you're going to create a VOD from. It's something you're going to create a game clip from. You're going to put it up on YouTube Shorts. You're going to put it out on Instagram Reel. I don't think Twitch is worried about that. And I don't think they would have any reason to enforce it. I think that the attorney's interpretation for what you see on screen, I think, is both overly vague and potentially inaccurate. Speak to your lawyers when you decide to move forward with agreements. That's the big warning I will give you. Speak to your attorneys and your tax professionals before you make a business decision. Do not take the advice of a podcast. Moving right along. So that is what happened eventually, and I believe as of now, the terms of service have been appropriately updated. The branded content guidelines have been appropriately updated. Yeah, exactly. Go tell a judge. But Papa Juggernaut said... Judge is going to laugh at your ass. So all of those things have happened. That is what's going on with Twitch. Let's talk about what all of this means. All right, let's get out of the minutia. Let's get out of the little details for a second. What guideline applies, what guideline doesn't apply. I think the bigger problem with all of this is what it means. And what it means is that Twitch is still desperately trying to find ways to make more money because they're not making enough, whatever that means. And they don't care how it impacts us. At least not until we raise such a public ruckus about it that they go back and fix it. It's not hard for them to go to streaming communities and say, this is what we're proposing. And I mean, you know, get a focus group, get whatever, get an advisory panel. I serve on advisory panels for most of the last 10 years for corporations all across the world. It's real simple. Impanel an advisory panel, have them sign NDAs and say, look, we're going to show you stuff that we're planning. Tell us what you think about it. We want your feedback. This is going to impact you. What does this mean to you? What does this change for you? What does this help you with? What does this hurt you with? It's not hard. And they won't do it. So I think that's the bigger warning with all of this. You had a lot of people from Asmongold to Ninja to all of OTK, like huge personalities in the content creation world, all said one of 2 basic things. I'm going to Kick, or I'm going to look at Kick, or YouTube, or Rumble, or whatever they're going to look at. Or I'm going to seriously reconsider my partnership with Twitch. And you got to remember, somebody like Ninja doesn't have a partnership agreement with Twitch. He's not even an affiliate. He's not a monetized streamer. Ninja, his last stream, what did I see? His last stream had something like 176,000 views on the VOD. It was a day old. 176,000 views, all right? When he goes live, people tune in. He's not monetized. And you had somebody like him going, this is why. They just don't care about us. There's no reason for me to do it. He was livid. I really don't care if Ninja's upset. I'm not saying that his opinion matters more than anybody else's. I'm saying that we all need to, if we are streamers, we need to pay attention to this stuff because this is the platform that we are choosing to create content on. I'm not leaving Twitch. Twitch is still the best platform from which to do live game streaming, and that is a lot of my content. I'm not changing that. YouTube still lacks a lot of the basic infrastructure to make streaming profitable for streamers. But it's getting there. It's growing. We did an entire episode. I did it yesterday. I did it last week with Mr. Jinxie. We did an entire episode on what I think of Kick. I'm not going to Kick. My point is this. I think it's smart for all streamers to reconsider how you make your content and how you make your money. Twitch is not intended, and Twitch will tell you this, Twitch is not intended to be your sole source of income. Twitch is not intended to be your sole source of discovery. It's not how people are supposed to find you most of the time. When you see these steps from Twitch, they're bad. They are a terrible company at communication. They don't consider things properly. They don't roll them out properly. They don't communicate with their content creators effectively. It's a mess. So you've got to think about, what does it mean for you as a content creator? Now, if none of this matters to you, you're not worried about what it does to your audience, maybe you're not monetized, maybe you just literally stream just to see if people will watch you, or maybe you just want your friends to watch you and you don't care about anybody else. Don't worry about it. That's cool. This doesn't really impact you, and that's a fine thing. But if you are interested in monetization, if you are interested in professional content creation, if you are trying to build a career, I'm going to give you 2 pieces of advice. 1, consider where Twitch fits into that plan. And then send me a DM and let's talk about the Rise Above team. Let's talk about a team of people who are committed to professional content creation, no matter where it happens, and helping each other do it successfully. That's my sales pitch. All right. We are going to move on. Tonight progresses. We go to the slide I got rid of. Oh, I knew I screwed that. Okay, hold on. I've got to fix something. There we go. Okay. So, moving on to the next topic, I want to quickly talk about the launch of Diablo 4. If you are currently in the live chat on YouTube, I would love to hear your comments about what you've experienced so far, if you've played it or if you've been watching all the details. Here's the thing. In our very first episode, we talked about AAA titles, and we talked about how the studios really kind of mistreat their audience. They delay things are broken. It's a lot of disrespectful stuff. I don't play Diablo 4, but I do this show for all of you, not for me. So here's what I've seen about the Diablo launch. Went pretty well. Yes, the servers are bogged down in the first few hours of the game. If you don't expect that, you're not paying attention to the last 20 years of gaming. The servers break because everybody on Earth is trying to get in at the same time. Okay, fine, whatever. But they fixed it pretty quickly. The game was running great. As far as I've heard, the beta was successful. They worked out a lot of the bugs. When the game went live, it was fun to play. Anybody in chat want to disagree with that? Maybe you know more than I do, but every report I've seen has said it was basically a good launch. So I thought it was important that this show, it always attempts to be very neutral. Okay, we're not, the show doesn't exist. That podcast doesn't exist for me to tell you that this studio's great, this studio's not great, this game is cool, this franchise sucks. Like, I think it's fair if we give recognition where it's due, and I think it's appropriate that we tell people, here is what's happening, you decide for yourself. Okay. We got a comment that says, not normally my type of game, and it major engaged me, so much so that I actually purchased. Okay, I'm hearing a lot of that. That's the kind of experience where people are really, really liking how the game was made. They're liking the storylines. They're liking the sound. They're liking all these different parts of the game. It's not perfect, but it's a functional game, and it launched well. And I thought it was important to recognize that Diablo 4 has had a good launch so far. They've put out patches already. They're fixing things on the fly. They're doing, what was that new content? I don't even know if I have the browser pulled up. But I was reading an article a day ago about, I think it was new cosmetics or something like that. Whatever it was. Like, they're out there and they're making this thing happen. And so far, the community seems to have really embraced it. So just want to give credit to the Diablo 4 team. Congratulations on a successful launch in a series of very unfortunate AAA titles that haven't gone so well. You guys seem to get the gold star on this one. If anybody would like to send over some comments about that, please shoot me an email or a DM wherever you want. I would love to hear about your experience with Diablo 4, or just drop them here in the comments live on YouTube or on the VOD. You can do that as well. But before we go anywhere, I have to make one small addition to that comment. Not everyone was happy. What do I mean by that? Well, I told you I was going to work her into this episode, and you had no way to know how. So I'm going to show you how. Ladies and gentlemen, the person who was not happy with the Diablo 4 launch, Whoopi Goldberg. I didn't know this about Whoopi Goldberg. I was dying when I read it. Whoopi Goldberg's a gamer. News to me. Wow, look at that. Hold on. The browser window's broken. No, not that jug. That's stupid. Hold on, let me. Oh, no wonder the chat doesn't work. Okay, sorry. I'm fixing things on the fly too. Anyways, Whoopi Goldberg is a gamer apparently for a long, long time. She loves the Diablo franchise. She was really excited about Diablo 4. She bought Diablo 4. Then she found out she couldn't run it on her Mac. Diablo 4 wasn't made for the Apple system. Now, Apple has that what the hell is that software? It's their version of a workaround, like a porting system. It's basically a simulation system. But anyways, Apple has that. But yeah, it hit the news. Whoopi Goldberg tweeted she was just so upset because she bought Diablo 4 and then couldn't install it on her Mac computer that she games on. Whatever. I just thought it was cool that Whoopi Goldberg was a gamer. I was so baffled by that. Get wrecked, Mac sucks anyway. Yeah, true. So yeah, but anyways, I thought it was funny. I wanted to share that with you guys. It entertained me for about 12 seconds. So again, congratulations to Diablo 4 team. You did a great job with the launch. People seem to be happy with the game that you made. Good job. Whoopi Goldberg would like it on an Apple, please. Just saying. We're going to keep moving now to... Oh, yes. Summer Game Fest. Did anybody live... Or, that's a dumb question. Did any dead people watch it? No. Did anybody watch Summer Game Fest live? If you did, drop it into chat. The reason I ask is I'm going to tell you a little bit about what got announced. The big one being Spider-Man. Okay, so there's a question in chat, where? Summer Game Fest was broadcast on YouTube Live. It happened in Los Angeles, California at YouTube, what do they call it? YouTube Studio? No, YouTube Amphitheater, YouTube Arena, YouTube something, whatever. YouTube Studios? I don't know what the fuck they call it. Whatever. It's a big, like huge, concert venue or something in downtown LA. Anyway, so whatever it is, that's where they did it. So they announced Summer Game Fest. Summer Game Fest is 3 years old. It was started in 2020 by a guy named Jeff Keighley. And interesting. Okay, great. The idea is it's not a platform-centric gaming announcement. The idea is that it is a platform-neutral gaming announcement. They want to show all the stuff that's coming up and get all the developers excited and have everybody in one place and just say like, hey, if you love gaming, this is your summer event. Cool. So there was that. The interesting thing about Summer Game Fest is they did have some cool launches. So I will show you. Oh God, that's him. That's just, anyways. So they talked about, and they had the first preview. In fact, we can watch. Can we watch that? Where is it? Blah, 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 blah. Where's the clip? Yeah, here we go. So I'm going to show you a clip that they broadcast at, let's see. Yeah. So I'm going to blow this up. I'm going to show this to you guys. It's going to be a little funky because of the weird overlay problem, but you should still be able to see it. You're going to see the actual first airing of Mortal Kombat 1 gameplay. Very, very cool thing. Check this out.
All right, let's do it.
A little bit of storyline, a little bit of gameplay. I'm not thrilled with the graphics for 2023. I was semi-expecting better.
Enough of you. Then go before I put you down.
What? This also, the mechanics of this don't seem radically different from other Mortal Kombat games. So, like, while I'm excited to see Mortal Kombat 1 as, like, the sort of origin stories and original backgrounds and blah, 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 whatever they're going to do with it.
Sento, it's my family blade.
I'm not crazy about how it's coming out.
Without a fight.
It's cool, though. It's Mortal Kombat. It's not bad. I'm not going to sit here and say it's a bad game. I'm just a little surprised at the style that they went with. Yeah. Cool new fatalities. You have these new Shadow Warriors or whatever they're calling them, the clones or whatever they are. Tag team partner, I don't know. Whatever, it's WWE 2022. Johnny Cage still has an attitude.
Okay, let's go back to
Kung Lao.
Who are you again?
Lord Liu Kang.
Liu
Protector of
Kang.
Earthrealm.
Oh, sorry, that's Sub-Zero. Sorry, I wasn't seeing the blue. Scorpion. Anyways. So there's all of this. Very cool. Nice gameplay. Fatalities. By the way, if you go on YouTube, there are now multiple clips showing the fatalities and the x-rays that are released so far. Not a bad collection. Kind of interesting.
You have skills, Raiden, but you're inexperienced.
So I'm going to stop this for a
Whatever.
second. And I want to show you a couple of things. I'm going to scroll through this. Okay, so we've got people on stage. There's Jeff Keighley with God knows who. Let's go further along. More gameplay. They did have... Nicolas Cage is supposed to be there. I don't know where he shows up. But Nicolas Cage was there to talk about his Dead by Daylight character. There it is, right there. Yeah, right there.
The player test build on July 5th. And here's an exclusive first look at Nicolas Cage in Dead by Daylight.
Oh, perfect. I picked a great time. Nick Cage, Dead by Daylight. God, he looks terrible. I think you can hear the audience laughing at what he looks like. It's not great. But again, the graphics for Dead by Daylight are never great. They're not supposed to be. But you can be Nick Cage. Oh, look, he just evaded Blood Tide Gaming. Blood Tide's always a trapper. My buddy Blood Tide is a trapper.
Damn right I made it.
There you go, Nick Cage. Now invite Nick Cage up. There's Nick Cage.
Anything goes here at Summer Game Fest. All right, thank you very much, Nick.
Shut up. Nick wasn't even there. What do you mean, thank you very much, Nick? Nick wasn't there. He was, but not in that clip. I'm going to show you... Okay, still Jeff on stage. Great. I'm going to make a point here, folks. Just bear with me. Look, it's still Jeff on stage. I'm looking for the parts where he has guests. Aha, here we go. So now we've got somebody from the Alan Wake 2 franchise on stage. There we go. It is whoever the hell that guy is. I don't know. It really doesn't matter. Just notice that I said that guy. So now we've got more people on stage. Cool. Another guest. Talking to Jeff. That's great. More guests. Another guy on stage. This is great. Oh, Portia. I'm involved at that event tomorrow. Aha, another person on stage. Oh, this is Marvel Snap. Okay, cool. Another guy on stage. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Come on. Roll. Aha. Oh, okay. Another guest, another guy on stage. Yep, great. I'm going to scroll through here. That's an interview, but not on stage. Interview. Where's more of Jeff? We need more of Jeff. I'm making a point here, folks. I promise it's coming. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, we're done. So, this was pointed out in a media article, not Zuck. Bye, Zuck. This was pointed out in a media article, and I hadn't noticed it while I was watching the like 12 seconds of the video I did see. In the entire Summer Game Fest, not a single woman appeared on stage. Every single presenter was male. Now, we don't know their sexual orientations, but we do know they were men. And we also know that there were no visible prominent, positions for anybody in the LGBT community. This is an industry that is plagued by misogyny. This is an industry that is male dominated to probably the tune of about 70 to 75%, if not more. Not a single non-male person showed up on stage. That's pretty rough. There are female CEOs, there are female design leads, there are female marketing leads, there are female team leads, where were they? Why were they not on stage for the entire show? In other episodes of the Papa Jug podcast, we've talked about Activision Blizzard. We've talked about the culture in gaming. We've talked about the culture in streaming. stupidly male dominated. And somehow in this big event for the summer, showing all these video games from all these different studios, they couldn't find a woman. Wow. I wonder why women have trouble advancing in this industry. It's a mystery. Let's keep moving forward, shall we? Because that's terrible. But again, Summer Game Fest had some cool reveals. Talked about Spider-Man coming up, which is supposed to be people are very, very excited about the quality of this game. It's cool title. We're going to go to the next thing and the final item of our night tonight, which is the Apple Vision Pro. As I said, I made the joke earlier. Congratulations if you're a Star Citizen player. Get your wallet out because you have another thing to spend money on. The Apple Vision Pro is a new mixed reality headset device. It combines AR, VR, and IRL. It is $3,500 US. Wow. $3,500. That's a lot for glasses. I don't even know where to begin with this. Literally, when I saw it, I was like, okay, cool. Like, we got a VR headset. That's interesting. A lot of companies are working on these. Some are doing better than others. You got things like Oculus or whatever. This does take the technology, in my opinion, in a new direction because it combines your real environment. So it's an overlay. It can do that. So yes, exactly. So you can see Pokemon in real life. You will see them in your living room and not through your phone screen. You will just be looking out through these ski goggles. It's $3,500 ski goggles. So I took a look at it. I thought the technology was interesting. I thought that the price tag was insanely ridiculous. And I took a look at all of this and I was like, all right, I'm not an Apple guy. I don't care about this kind of VR, AR type of stuff, whatever. If you sneeze too hard, it'll shatter. Yeah. So there's a couple of things though. Apple has not addressed one thing. In some of their product demo videos and photos, the users, unlike like an Oculus where it's just the band that goes around your head, there's a band on the top of your head. A lot of people are wondering, how heavy are these things? Are they not light enough to fit around my head with one single strap like a ski goggle does? Like sunglasses do? Why do I need a strap on the top of my head like this is some sort of, heavy equipment helmet? This isn't a hard hat, or is it? There's that. Apple hasn't addressed that. Apple has not talked about that. I think they're just saying, too bad, so sad. The other thing is that Mark Zuckerberg, because we all care about Mark Zuckerberg's opinion, Mark Zuckerberg, well, he basically said that there is nothing new about the Apple Vision Pro. He said all of the technology in the Apple Vision Pro is something that they have already launched or experimented with and realized it was bad in the Meta glasses that they're doing. I want to say Oculus. So he said, look, we've done all this stuff. There's nothing new. Meta has done this. And it's not a revolutionary product, and it's certainly not worth $3,500. Now, I think Zuckerberg is privately excited that Apple put a $3,500 price tag on it, because that means it's probably more than what he was going to charge, and now he can raise the price of Meta stuff. He said he did a meeting with Meta employees. He told them that, quote, it could be the vision of the future of computing, but like, it's not the one that I want. That sounds just a little pity party. Okay. He said Apple's device didn't present any major breakthroughs in technology that Meta hadn't, quote, already explored, unquote, and that its vision for how people will use the device is, quote, not the one that I want, unquote. He also pointed to the fact that the upcoming the Meta Quest 3 headset will be much cheaper at $499 compared to the Vision's $34.99. So you will have more people who can simply afford to pay for the Meta Quest. Why did I keep thinking Oculus? Quote, I think that their announcement really showcases the difference in the values and the vision that our companies bring to this in a way that I really think is important. Zuckerberg told employees who were gathered at the company's Menlo Park headquarters for its first all-hands meeting since 2020. Zuckerberg said that the Quest is about, quote, people interacting in new ways and feeling closer, unquote, while also being about active and doing things. Now, Zuckerberg does make one interesting observation, and I saw most of the marketing material that Apple put out. It didn't dawn on me what he was describing until he said it. In all of their marketing material, the people using it are by themselves. I was like, ooh, good point, dude. It wasn't a communal thing. It wasn't a team thing. It wasn't a family thing. The people were, for the most part, alone. So is that the world that Apple was envisioning? Sort of like a Ready Player One. Like you do this by yourself and you meet people in game? Or can you do this with others? From my perspective, it seems that the Apple Vision Pro would absolutely lend itself to playing with other people. You can physically see them. So, oh, thank you. Yeah, so chat just reminded me, you keep thinking Oculus because they were called that before being rebranded. Yeah, that's right. So Meta rebranded it to the Quest. So anyways, I think that the Vision Pro seems to lend itself to in-person interaction because you can see whoever is in the room or in the park with you. You know, I don't know how, I don't know why, but you could use this in a giant outdoor environment. You could do a stadium filled with these things. Everybody could have their own experience of a football game or a cricket game or whatever you're going to do. But that didn't seem to be what they were projecting. They seemed to be projecting people that were solo. And when Zuckerberg pointed that out in the media, I was like, interesting. I wonder if that's going to change Apple's marketing moving forward. So anyways, I'm going to leave it at that. That is where the Apple Vision Pro is. If you are interested in this technology, it will soon be available from Apple at $3,499. I'm sure there will be upgrade packages available as well if you want to, I don't know, customize the heavy equipment headband that goes around your face. All of those things are going to be happening. And that is going to do it for episode 4 of the Papa Jug podcast. I hope you all had a great time. Thank you for everybody who joined us live tonight. As always, you can drop a sub on the YouTube channel because I'm begging you to do so. And this will be saved as a VOD immediately at the conclusion of the show. And then the audio gets uploaded on Monday to all of your favorite networks, Apple iTunes, iHeart, Spotify, CastBox, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts, it should be available there. If you have a podcast service that doesn't have this available, please let me know. We're trying to expand the network as fast as we can. We don't know about every single network out there. And if you've got a favorite one and it's not there, just tell me. I'm happy to put it there if I can. So thank you very much. And as always, go have yourself a good morning, a good day, a good night, whatever it is for you. And I will see you next time. See ya.